Good afternoon, market participants and members. Thank you very much for joining today's open house on closing auction session, which is called as CAS. Couple of months back, there were circulars related to the introduction of closing auction session, and recently, few days back, we have already issued the operating guidelines and standard operating procedures via circulars over our website. We are sure that definitely all the members must have gone through the SOP and what the CAS is all about. But definitely based on the feedback, we thought why not to make a session where briefly and quickly we'll try to just explain the key nuances, and then we'll straight away jump to the queries that members are having. So please make sure that once we start with the explanation, there and then whatever queries you are having, you can use the Q&A tab, which you can see, and you can post your relevant queries related to today's session, which is closing auction session. Please avoid making queries related to other topics because we'll not be able to address over here, and we can utilize the time in better manner by addressing the queries related to today's topics only. Now, to explain the nuances and to address queries, I have with me my colleagues from different teams, from products team, from member services team, from surveillance, and then last from NCL side, settlement related things also will be taken care by my colleague who are already available here. Now, without a further ado, I'd like to first hand over to Kinshuk, who is from products team, who will just quickly take us over the key nuances related to closing auction session. Kinshuk, over to you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Jwalanji. So let me first begin with why are we actually introducing CAS in the first place? This is a mechanism which is used across global exchanges to determine the closing price of stocks, and it is a very efficient mechanism which provides a very fair and transparent closing price. It also helps large orders to be executed in a more efficient manner. So the price discovery process, it reflects the collective market consensus. That is, all types of market participants and investors, they get an equal opportunity to participate in the price discovery process. So that is why CAS is being introduced in the Indian markets. This will be implemented from the 3rd of August, which has been stated in the SEBI circular. So now let me quickly take you through the structure of CAS basically. What is going to happen? It is going to be a separate session after CTS for 20 minutes, starting from 3:15 p.m. and it will end at 3:35 p.m. So CAS will have four phases within itself of 5 minutes each. The first one, which will begin at 3:15 p.m., it will be the transition period from the CTS session to the CAS session where your reference price calculation is going to happen. And this will end at 3:20 p.m. At 3:20 p.m., the next phase of CAS will begin, which is for another 5 minutes until 3:25 p.m. This is basically your order entry period where your limit and market orders can be entered, inputted into the system. Both limit and market orders in this period can be modified and cancelled as well. The third phase, which is starting from 3:25 p.m. and ending at 3:30 p.m., this is only for limit orders. In these 5 minutes, no market orders are allowed, but you can enter your limit orders, modify them, and as well as cancel your limit orders. So in this third window, we will have a random closure in the last 2 minutes. This is randomly determined by the system. It can happen anytime after 3:28 p.m., anytime in between 3:28 up to 3:30 p.m. And then finally, we have the last window of 5 minutes, starting 3:30 p.m. and ending at 3:35 p.m., which is your order matching period. So your orders will start getting matched once the equilibrium price has been determined, and it can start anytime after the random closure. So broadly, this is going to be the structure of the CAS session, starting 3:15 p.m. and ending at 3:35 p.m. Next, we move on to certain key features that we are going to see in the CAS session. The reference price of CAS will be the VWAP that is calculated between 3 p.m. until 3:15 p.m. So this is where the CAS will start. It will be the reference price for cash. As I mentioned earlier, both limit and market orders are allowed in their respective time slots, as shared earlier in the previous slide. And algos will be allowed on market orders during cash. The price band for securities which are being traded in cash will be plus and minus 3% from the reference price of the stock. And now the post-close session, the timings of the post-close session will be modified. It will be available from 3:50 p.m. until 4 p.m. Accordingly, the equity derivative segment is also getting extended. Currently, it ends at 3:30 p.m. But now, once CAS is implemented, the equity derivative segment will operate up to 3:40 p.m. The order execution priority in CAS will be first the market orders will be matched with the market orders. In the next set of priority, the remaining market orders will be matched with limit orders. And finally, in the end, all remaining limit orders will be matched with the limit orders. During CAS, there are certain type of market data which are going to get disseminated to the market participants. Some of them are similar to what we already share in the pre-open session currently, like the indicative equilibrium price, the indicative cumulative buy and sell quantity of the stock, and there are certain other indicators which are going to be disseminated during the cash session. So some of them are the indicative imbalance quantity of the stock at equilibrium price. So this is basically the total buy quantity minus your sell quantity at the equilibrium price. Then we will also be sharing indicative imbalance quantity based on market orders. So all the market orders put together, the total buy quantity minus sell quantity will be disseminated for market orders. And we'll also be sharing the indicative index values during the cash session. Now, something to keep in mind is the applicability. That is, in the first phase, which is going live on the 3rd of August, currently CAS is applicable only to stocks on which derivatives are available, which means only those securities which are currently available in the FO segment, they will be eligible for CAS. Then there is a slight modality here that the unexecuted limit orders of CTS will be carried forward to cash, but in cash, we will not be having stop loss orders or iceberg orders, so they will not get carried forward to cash. And even within cash, no stop loss orders and iceberg orders are allowed. And obviously, any orders which have prices beyond the price bands that are applicable in cash, they are not going to get carry forwarded to cash, and neither they can be importable during the cash session. So now I would like to hand over to our head of member services department, Kushal ji, who will take you through some further operational modalities.
Yeah, hi. Let me first start with the applicability, as Kinshuk has mentioned, that this is going to be available only for stocks on which the derivatives are available. As many of you would have questioned whether we are going to give you any indicator which will represent that this is applicable, this stock is eligible for cash or not. The answer is yes. We are going to provide you indicator in your stock master files, which we download every day. There will be an indicator which will tell you that this stock shall be available in cash. And as and when there are changes in the derivatives, uh, uh, any stock which is getting added in derivatives or going out of, accordingly, the cash indicator will reflect whether it is the cash is available or not. Second modality I would like to mention here is about the reference price and the revised price band dissemination part. We will be disseminating the revised price band, which is going to be calculated during the transition period from 315 to 320. So system will will end for the continuous session period, and then the system will start calculating the VWAP, and based on the VWAP, the price bands shall be calculated, which are going to be applicable for cash. Those price bands shall be disseminated to the market participants in the same manner as we are doing that for various other things, like, in case of we do changes in price band whenever there is an flex in the system. So we disseminate those revised price band in the same manner. The this revised price band for cash shall be disseminated, and members shall be able to take that prices and use those upper band and lower band to then determine which all orders can pass this check for the upcoming orders for the cash. Another nuances I would like to mention. One is this: in transition period, there are going to be a lot of information being disseminated. Like, it will start from, say, the continuous market has ended, price band computation has got completed, uh, uh, cash will get started, and then once the cash has started, you will get information about when the period for order entry for market orders is stopped, and likewise, once the random closure happens, you will receive the message like the order entry period for cash is completed. And once the cash has ended, uh, system will start preparing for matching, which means equilibrium price will be computed, uh, matching will be completed. You will start getting uh, trade uh, trade messages, and whatever is the outstanding orders which have gone unmatched in cash will will be cancelled out from the system, and you will start receiving order cancellation messages also. So this all will happen between the random closure and up to 3:35. So since the random closure can happen anytime between 3:28 to 3:30, from that period you will start seeing the message flow coming from the systems. Other part on the dissemination, market data dissemination, we are making provisions for the two new types of data which are going to disseminate it. That is, one is the imbalance quantity at the equilibrium price, and imbalance quantity at the market orders. These two information is new in the system, and this will get disseminated through the APIs. Uh, I think, yeah, I'll take a pause here. I will
Okay.
invite Binoy if at certain incremental inputs for price band you want to highlight.
Yeah. So I think like majority of the points have been covered by both Kinshuk and Kushal, but a few things just to if you see the circular, we have mentioned in the circular about algo market orders. So there are certain preemptive checks which we had introduced earlier this year. So as all of you know, which we had discussed, ki algo market orders will be allowed in cash session. So those preemptive checks, wherein the exchange automatically rejects algo market orders, will not be applicable in this cash session. And the price band, the plus minus 3% price band, which is applicable in cash market, similar mechanism will be applicable in futures as well, right? So the futures, the reference price calculation will be similar to the cash market segment, and it will also have this plus minus 3% of the reference price which is arrived for future segment. So similar mechanism will be applicable for futures, and there will be no change in the options mechanism. So options, whatever the current mechanism is there, it will continue as it is, and there is no change whatsoever in the options pricing of OPR, the LPP mechanism, and everything remains same. Only slight change will be the LPP will be recalculated at 315. So the ranges will be, whatever reference price is calculated at 315 for futures, the LPP ranges will be applicable on the 315 reference price of futures. And uh, yeah, so right. And yes, I think that more or less covers about the price band portion. The
Okay. Moving to Anil. Anil, if settlement related key aspects, if you want to share, and then we can move towards the queries.
Yeah, hi. Basically, at present, the settlement price is computed by the clearing corporations, and it's based on the this close VWAP and close price information that has been provided by exchanges of last 30 minutes. Going forward with introduction of cash, there is no, as such, there is no change in the settlement price computation. The only thing is, now the settlement price that is computed by the CC will be based on the equilibrium price and the quantity that is in the cash session, that will be provided by the exchanges to the clearing corporation. The various scenarios in which how the settlement price will be computed is been provided in the SOP. The various scenarios, I mean, means when scenarios means when a particular security is traded in all the exchanges in that session, or a particular security is traded in one of is only in only one of the stock exchanges in the SAT session, or when a security is not traded in all the stock exchange in the SAS session. In these scenarios, how the settlement price will be computed by the exchanges is provided in detail in the SOP that has been that has been issued through circular on 19th March. Uh, Apart from this, there is as such no change in the computation of settlement price.
Okay. Thank
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Anil. Participants, from our side, we wanted to keep our explanation very brief with the key facets only. Now we have received a few queries already, which we'll be covering, and by that time, you can use the Q&A tab to post your queries related to today's topic. Now, a couple of participants have already posted clarification on one basic thing. They are asking, will the normal trading therefore stop at 3:15 p.m. for cash stocks?
Yes, the normal market will stop for cash stocks at 315.
Okay. Then next one is, will the TBT feed get all order updates during the cash session?
Since cash session mechanism of order collection is based on the call option mechanism, currently as followed for pre-open, we are not giving any information of the orders received in pre-open, whereas we are giving the information of the trades which have taken place in pre-open, and the outstanding and the unmatched orders which are getting carried forward in normal market. That information is going in TBT. Likewise, in cash, you will receive the trade information of the cash, not the order information. And since after cash, there is no order session where the matching will take place. So the unmatched orders of the cash are going to be cancelled by the system. So that information is again will be part of TBT in form of cancel tick you will receive in the MTBT. So trade
Okay.
information and and the outstanding orders which are getting cancelled, that will flow into TBT.
He was specifically asking for order updates. So for that
Order
answer is no, right?
updates, yeah, answer is no for order.
Okay. The same person, Mr. Ankush Gupta, is asking another question also. Which feed will provide information disseminated during as shown on screen? Which feed will provide the information dissemination?
Yeah, so participants have to await our APIs. The sequence of event which now will take place is we have already provided one part of the circular, which is the SOP. The next thing which the exchange is going to do is release the API for market participants to have a view on that. The and next step will be once we complete our internal UAT, we will be releasing the test market for a participant to test the CAS modalities. And we are also planning once the testing environment settles down, we will introduce a mock session, one or two mock session, so that participants can come and test in mock also. Before we hold the final mock, which is the go live mock, we will try to hold a couple of mocks so that participants are familiar with the CAS features.
Okay. Now, Ms. Mithali is asking, how can we prevent limit orders in CTS to get carry forwarded in CAS?
Sorry, can you repeat it? Limit orders of CTS.
Yes. How can we prevent limit orders in CTS to get carry forwarded in CAS?
I'm kind of
Okay, so Ms. Mithali, your query is not very clear. So, I mean, probably later on you can just email your detailed query on the email ID provided in the circular. Moving on to next one, FO segment CTS would be till 1540, I mean 3:40 instead of current 3:30 p.m.
yes. FO will continue till 340.
Okay. At 3:20, would the reference price be published anywhere on trading platform?
As of now, currently in our design, we have not contemplated of publishing the reference price because we understand that the reference price mostly will be used for determining the price band. So as of now, we are going to publish the price band. But if there is a requirement of reference price, we can look at it. So the current design which we have contemplated doesn't have the reference price in that. But
Okay.
we are going to publish the price band which are applicable for cash. So I think that information is more relevant, should be more relevant to market participants.
Understood. Now, the participant is saying currently in pre-open session, indicative open price is published in open price tab. Similarly, where would the indicative closing price be published?
We already have an field for indicative closing price because we currently also are publishing indicative close price. So
Okay.
that field will continue to be used for
And that
cash.
is where they can find the indicative close price information.
Yes.
Yeah, and just to add, this information will also be published on our website. All the 5 points which are going to get disseminated through our APIs. In addition to that, all these information will also be published on the website.
Okay.
So
Uh,
the APIs, once we have our APIs in our public domain, I mean answers to such questions where which field will carry what value and how the system will transit, what all messages will come, which all transcodes are undergoing changes. Those all information, I think API should provide that information.
Correct. Now, next question, probably you have covered during the explanation, but just for better understanding, would there be any separate closing session after cash like we have from 3:40 till 4 with trading at equilibrium price?
Yes. So our current post close session which happens on the single price, which is the close price, that will continue. However, the timings of that session shall be revised to 3:50 to 4 o'clock. Currently, it is from 3:40 to 4 o'clock. Now the post close will happen from 3:50 to 4 o'clock.
Okay.
And the
And
mechanism is going to be the same, which means only fresh orders will be allowed in post close session at only single price, which is the close price, and any outstanding orders after cash will not be carried forward in post close session. Those all will be cancelled out, and like currently we conduct post close freshly by fresh orders. The same mechanism shall continue for post close.
okay, Mr. Dipesh is asking revised price band, which is applicable in cash session. Are we going to get any files to upload in NNF software, or how it will be? I mean, how the mechanism will be, because the DPR on Market Watch will be displayed based on this script master uploaded based on EOD file received.
Yeah, so partially the understanding is right. The price bands, the opening price band, I would say, are always uploaded in the system through the files. So the security masters which we provide every day. But there are intraday changes in the price band. One example which I quoted was, suppose there is a no price band security, and if the price band is flexed, for example, from 10 to 15%, there is an intraday price band disseminated, which flows through API and also gets updated on our need system. So that mechanism will continue for cash also, because the price band are getting revised intraday. The same mechanism which we are using in other facilities, we will use this same mechanism to disseminate the revised price band. So to specifically answer how the information will flow, it will flow through API in a particular transcode, which currently also is flowing in many occasions.
Okay. Next is Mr. Amol. He's asking, as per the circular, closing price of stocks in the cash segment on which derivative contracts are available shall be determined based on the cash. But what happens to rest of the stock? Would they have those extended cash session, or will those stocks behave similar to what is happening in current process?
So just reframing the question is around the non-cash securities, how
Correct.
the closing price will be determined for non-cash securities. The answer to that question is yes, it will be same mechanism currently, which is the VWAP. Last half an hour VWAP, the close price shall be determined for non-cash securities.
Okay, and he's extending the question. He's asking the applicability for open auction or IPO orders. Will there be any book type change for cash?
No, we have tried to look at minimum change in the system. So for cash, there won't be any book type change. The book type, which is the RL regular lot, shall continue to be used for cash.
Okay. Now, there's next query. Are there any other technical specification details going to be published by exchange other than the SOP, which is already there?
Yes, as I mentioned, next what market participant can expect is there will be an API, and that API will be released, which will indicate changes with respect to cash, what all information, where all information will flow, and what all transcodes are involved, what are the new error codes they will start receiving because of any rejections, order rejections happening also. So those all information, a technical document which is our API, that shall be released to the market soon.
Any tentative indication he's asking for the
Yeah, by
release?
yes, I think by today tomorrow you should receive those
Within this
API.
week, it will come.
Okay. Okay. Now, next is, what if the order is not executed in cash for passive funds?
No, whether it is for passive fund, for individual, for any type of market participants, any outstanding order after the cash has got completed will be cancelled by system.
Okay. Now, on the similar lines, there is another scenario-based query. If in the cash, in market depth, there is only one buyer with market order and only one seller with market order, in that case, what would be the trade execution price?
You mean the equilibrium price?
It seems so. He has particularly mentioned trade execution price, but I believe he meant equilibrium.
Yeah. So basically, the equilibrium price determination is already there, explained in SEBI circular. So and by and large, it is same which is applied for pre-open. So equilibrium price will be the one where there will be where there is maximum matchable quantity and minimum imbalance quantity. If we have a tie on two prices, we will look at the minimum imbalance quantity wherever there is a minimum imbalance quantity. If there is two prices where there is a minimum imbalance quantity, we will look at a price which is close to the reference price. And if we have a tie there also, then we will look at uh, 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 the reference price as the close price.
So in this scenario, if you are saying there were only market orders, it will come down to the reference price.
Okay. Because he has specifically mentioned that there will be market orders. He has mentioned one buyer with market order and one seller with market order.
Right. So Kushalji just explained the entire waterfall of how the equilibrium
Correct.
price is determined. But in case there are no other type of orders, it's just market orders, then we go back to the reference price.
Okay, understood. Next, Mr. Vinay is asking, during cash, any change in the order sending mechanism they are following? I mean, particularly he's asking if there is any flag to be sent in the packet during the
Uh,
cash.
no, we have there is no uh, any flag changes to be done while sending the order request.
In the packets, he is specifically asking the packets they sent for the order. Is there any flag to be captured or set?
No, for cash
Okay.
we are there is no change in the order entry request.
Okay. Related to the timing applicability, definitely we have covered a couple of questions, but still there are so many questions coming through some or the other structural changes. So just for understanding, again, I'm taking one question. The person is asking in phase one, the non-FNO stocks will be continue to available the closing session from 3:40 to 4 p.m. and only FNO listed stocks will be available for closing session from 3:50 to 4 p.m. Is that the correct understanding?
No, the understanding is not correct. So basically, post close session overall timings are being revised from 3:40 to from 3:40 to 4 o'clock. It will be conducted from 3:50 to 4 o'clock, both for cash as well as non-cash securities.
Okay. Next is okay. Next one is algo regulation market order are not allowed, but here it is allowed. I mean
Yes,
the okay.
yes. So in cash, the check which was there for algo orders, not market orders not to be permitted for algo, that check will not be applicable for cash.
Yes.
Okay.
In fact,
Now
once, yeah,
yes,
just
yes,
to
Vinay.
add to that, so the alignment of the pre-open session is also will be done from September onwards. So once that is in place, even in the pre-open session, market orders will be allowed. So
Okay.
from September onwards, yeah.
Now, next one is algo orders will the algo orders be carry forwarded from CTS to CAS?
For system exchange system, order is order. If the order falls within the revised price band, it will be carry forwarded. Otherwise, it will get cancelled.
Okay. Next is Neetal is asking the applicability for order matching rule. Will an order which is better than equilibrium price be the priority over order placed at equilibrium price?
Yeah, so basically, I'll again reiterate the execution priority. So here in CAS, basically first set of order matching will happen for market between market orders, which is buy market orders, sell market orders will get matched first. If there is residual quantity, then eligible market orders versus eligible limit orders shall be matched. Now, when a limit order comes in picture, obviously the price time priority will come in picture. So, if it's a better price than the equilibrium price, yes, then of course the priority goes up. But however, whether the execution will be uh, 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 will be there or not will depend upon the availability of the quantity.
Okay.
So if there is a residual quantity, then the execution will happen. And once the execution happen, the price time priority will kick in for limit orders.
Okay. Mr. Vaibhav is asking, will STPC, which is self-trade prevention checks, be applicable in CAS?
Trade prevention. Currently, I don't think for pre-open we are not having the STP check. So for cash also it shouldn't be there, but we can clarify. We can park this point. Needs to be clarified.
Sure. Next query is currently NSE do not have the mass cancellation of algo orders at 3:30 p.m. Are there any changes here with CAS
Uh, Mass cancellation.
of
I
algo
mean,
orders at 3:30 p.m.?
so after 3:30, anyways, any outstanding orders are there. Uh, uh, Basically, those are marked for cancellation, and the cancellation messages right now flow after the post close session somewhere when we complete our client code modification process and all. So for this, since cash is getting introduced, and if there are any outstanding orders after the cash gets over, those will be cancelled. Cancellation messages will be provided in that interim period, which is 3:30 to 3:35.
Okay.
I hope
So
this
definitely the
clarifies.
question itself is not very clear. So we assume that what we have addressed is what the person was asking. Still, if any further clarification is there from participant, they can email to the email ID given in the circular, please. Now, next query is because the cash will be applicable for the stocks which have derivatives contracts as well. So the person is asking, will this session be conducted every day or just on the expiry day?
Cash will be conducted every day.
All trading
Okay.
days.
Okay. Uh, Next one is how to manage RMS square off for intraday trades happened at 3:15 if the normal market is closing at 3:15. That's a very specific question, probably the participant is asking.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay. Please, member, we request you to just elaborate your query and email later on so that the concerned team can just come back for the question. Moving to next one. Again, there are so many timing related questions. So just taking one again for the clarity. What will be the last 30-minute window for the non-cash securities? Is it 2:45 to 3:15?
Yes, so even in SEBI circular about flexing of dynamic flexing of price band, the last half an hour definition now will change from 245 to 350.
Okay. Um, just a second. Let me just skim through the questions because there are too many redundant queries that we have already answered. Okay. Mr. Hitesh is asking related to market data, will we publish split between market and limit orders on matching session?
uh, Okay, if I've understood the question correct, the MVP data, which currently also for pre-open, we are sending you the uh, pre-open data, snapshot data, that has the first four levels are for market or for limit orders, and the last level, which is the fifth depth, is for the 80 orders, which is the market orders. That will continue for CAS also.
Okay. Mr. Viraj is asking whether order rejection or cancellation messages be received on real-time basis or in batches. This clarification will help the brokers to immediately release the block limits to clients. Furthermore, kindly provide clarification regarding the timing and duration for which the message will be received in CM and FO segment.
Uh, Sorry, the messages for the
Uh,
unexecuted
Order
orders.
rejection and cancellation messages, he's asking whether it will be the real-time basis or on batches.
Uh, Real time, yes. So, the sequence of event, let me just go back. As we said, last 2 minutes, which is from 3:28 to 3:30, anytime the system will close for order entry. Okay. Once the system has ended for order entries, system will start preparing for computation of equilibrium price. Once the equilibrium price is computed, system will start the matching. And once the matching has started, the trade messages will start flowing. Once the matching is completed, which means all the executed, all the quantities have got matched, then the system will start sending messages of the order cancellation, which is the unmatched orders of the cash. Since system will cancel out orders, you will start receiving order cancellation message for all the orders one by one.
Okay. Next one is okay. Mr. Ankur is asking when multiple prices result in identical executable quantity during cash, what is the exact priority order used to determine equilibrium price? Probably you again covered it, right? But he is giving specific scenario, couple of scenarios. If two prices are equidistant from reference price, is midpoint used? That is first one. Do you want to take it one by one? He has given three scenarios.
I think I need to open SEBI circular. It's very clearly.
So we are just looking back into the SEBI circular and we'll provide the complete detailed answer.
So if the reference price is the mid value of the pair of prices, then the reference price itself will be the closing price. So basically, if as the question starts, whether if there is a mid value coming, then it will be the reference price will be taken as the close price.
Okay. Next, he is asking to with respect to equilibrium price determination only, does tick size rounding apply?
Rounding applies in the sense we will be computing the equilibrium price based on all the factors, considering the rounding, tick size, everything. This is the common computation applicable for close price. Wherever we are determining prices, wherever we are computing prices, all these factors are part of the computation. Members did not worried about the tick size or the rounding off or something. We will,
Okay. Next is in case of tiebreaker scenario, he is just providing, is the last traded price considered for equilibrium price determination?
for for non-cash.
Tiebreaker scenario he has mentioned. He has not explained it at length, but he's
Uh, so,
saying,
I think the waterfall criteria for determining the equilibrium price is already there in the SEBI circular. So that exactly remains same. I mean, exchange is not adding any. nuances to that.
Okay. Next query is should we cancel the unmatched iceberg orders in CTS during 3:15 to 3:20 p.m. or will they be automatically cancelled by NSE?
Uh, I would like to park this question. I think there will be an automatic cancel, but again, we can confirm back.
Okay. Uh, Now, next one is on corporate action effective dates like bonus, split, dividend adjustments, etc. Will cash be conducted normally? That is first part of the question.
Yes.
Okay. Second part for the same scenario is will reference price use corporate action adjusted price?
Adjusted price normally comes in picture when we are starting the day at the. I mean, when we are opening the day with the base price. So after 315, it's the VWAP which will come in picture. So VWAP would already account the X price or whatever is the pricing happening after the market has opened. So
Okay.
uh,
And the last part of the question for the same scenario is will the plus or minus 3% price band apply on adjusted base?
yeah, it's based on the VWAP of 3 to 315. So those prices which are already there in the market, based on that, the reference price shall be computed.
Okay. Next one is mm, okay, related to price band again, the person wants to confirm whether the plus or minus 3% price band from the reference price is applicable for equity derivatives also from 315.
Yeah. So as I said, the similar mechanism for cash segment will be applicable for futures. So there will be a separate reference price will be which will be calculated for futures segment from 3 to 315, and whatever is the reference price arrived at 315, the plus minus 3% band will be applicable for the future segment.
Okay. Again, related to timing, one small thing the person is asking. There is reference price calculation transition time from 315 to 320. Please confirm if the orders will be accepted by exchange during this 5 minutes.
No, in the transition period from 315 to 320, there is not going to be any order activity from member side. Since system is preparing itself for cash, there will be more of information going towards members, not information coming from members. So, any order cancellation, modification, fresh orders, those won't be allowed in the transition period from 315 to 320.
Okay. There is one question related to the stock list, which is there on both the exchanges. There may be differences between the eligible scripts. So the person is asking that how the mechanism will work for the CAS in case there are different scripts.
I'm sorry.
So this, yeah. So I think so this point is under discussion. But as Kushal mentioned earlier, there will be a clear-cut indicator in the script.txt file. So if securities, I mean that so that will be
To add Binoy's explanation is that participant be rest assured that the cash securities shall be common across both the exchanges. So there will be never a scenario a security is available in cash on one exchange and not available on the other.
Okay. Just a while back, Kushal, you explained on the whether the stock will be available for cash or not. There will be indicator you mentioned, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the person is asking whether that particular eligibility indicator be available at beginning of the trading day itself or it will be during the day.
In the stock masters which we provide daily to the members, the indicator will be provided in those masters.
Okay. Then so probably we might have addressed it, but again, if Anil, you want to just chip in, Mr. Ashwin is asking, will the timings for calculation of daily settlement price, I guess Kushal also can chip in, for calculation of daily settlement price for FNO change as future trade until 340. Currently, it's VWAP of 3 to 330. I guess we have already explained this, right, Kushal?
Yeah. So if the question is for F&O, yes, the VWAP will now change to 310 to 340 for F&O. And
Correct. He's specifically asking for FO. I'll just reiterate. Will the timings for calculation of daily settlement price for FNO change as futures trade until 340?
yeah. So I would rather put it as daily closing price for F&O. The VWAP timings will change from current 3 to 330 to 310 to 340.
Okay. Jason York is asking, do maximum order sizes or notional size maximums apply during CAS?
Sorry, can you
Do
repeat the question?
do maximum order sizes or the notional size maximums apply during CAS? So maximum order sizes particularly he's asking.
I think the question is referring the quantity freeze. Yeah,
Correct.
so there is
Correct.
no change in the quantity freeze. It will continue.
So
The
what,
value will continue.
whatever is applicable in CTS will be same for CAS as
Understood. Is the dissemination of indicative equilibrium price in real time?
Yes.
Okay, it will be in real time. Okay, I'm just again skimming through. And participants will be taking last 4 or 5 questions, and then probably because there is repeated queries only coming surrounding what we have already explained. So we'll be taking last 4 to 5 queries. I'm just skimming through for some other queries which we have already not addressed. Okay, related to expiry date trading, one person is asking a question. Will FNO trading be open from 330 to 340 on expiry day as well, assuming that expiry settlement is still done from 3 to 330?
No, after we introduce cash in the cash market, F&O will operate till 340 all days.
Okay. Will the reference price be displayed on screen for both cash and futures?
Uh, as I as I as I mentioned earlier, we are providing the revised price band both in cash and futures, which will be applicable after 315. Reference price as of now, we are not contemplating to disseminate it. But if there is a requirement, we can look at it. But as of now, only price bands both in cash and futures shall be disseminated.
Okay. If there is a breach in position limit for options due to change in price because of cash, would it be considered as breach? Breach in position limit.
That doesn't matter, right? I mean,
it is unaffected.
it is anyway
It is anyways
not related to gas.
I mean, cash introduction will not impact those position limit criteria.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
position limit. So if you're, I don't know if I don't know which positions they are referring to. If they are referring to the delta based positions, so anyway, currently also it depends on the delta of the contract. So the introduction of cash doesn't, and anyway the positions limits are on future. The delta positions are for future segment. So anyway, the cash thing will not impact. the futures positions.
Okay. Moving on to next one. So as you mentioned that algo orders would be allowed during cash. So the person is asking, do we need to recertify all the algos to trade in cash session?
This question is for
We can check the relevant, but it doesn't look like
Okay.
any recertification is required. It doesn't look like, but we can still recheck and confirm.
Okay. If the stock is in upper or lower DPR, will the new DPR be applicable in cash?
yes, whatever is the reference price computed, based on that, there will be a new DPR.
Okay. We'll be taking last two questions, participants. Second last question is, I'm not too sure whether Kushal, you will be able to clearly address or not, but the person is asking, what is the rationale for a random time for the cutoff? I mean, we have mentioned, probably Kinshuk mentioned, right? There will be random time of 2 minutes between the particular time slot. So what is the rationale for that random time cutoff?
I think all auction mechanism which we are using for sessions like pre-open, special pre-open, periodic call auction, all those sessions are carrying those random feature. So it's I think it's mentioned in SEBI circular also. But the rationale, what I can think of is it's just, I mean, if a designated time is decided for random closure, I think that will not serve the purpose for which we are carrying out the call auction mechanism. So wherever we are conducting such mechanism like call auction, always there is a random closure feature attached.
Okay. Participants will be taking the last question. Uh, just again, the person wants the clarification by asking this question. As the price bands is changing for FO stocks at 315, so she's saying should not be the close price for FO stocks be calculated 315 to 340 VWAP. Also on expiry day, current month contracts timings are different, right? That is what the clarification she is asking. Should I repeat the question?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so she is asking as the price bands is changing for FO stocks at 315, should not the close price for FO stocks be calculated 315 to 340 VWAP? That is first part.
Currently, as per the SEBI circular, it says the last 30 minutes of the session. So it essentially translates into 310 to 340 for FO.
Okay,
Yeah, but
and
we can park.
We can clarify.
We can check this again and get back to you on this.
sure. And just the second part she has mentioned in the same question, though it is not very clear. Also on expiry day, current month contracts timings are different. I mean, she's just asking, will it be different? It is not clear, so we would again ask the participant just to email with further details. Now, I guess this is more or less we have covered almost all the queries received till now. So still any further queries are there? Any specific email that they can email on to? Kushal, Binoy, Anil?
Yeah, I think most member queries they can write to msm@nsc.co.in.
Okay, great. And now, before we conclude the session, any concluding remarks from all four of you? Anything you want to just summarize and just touch upon key three, four things?
Oh yeah, from my side, see, since this is a new, I would say new session being introduced in cash market, and like all new changes which come into systems, uh, uh, my only request is we are trying as much to put the information in black and white through circulars, through APIs, through FAQs, and we have while designing the implementation, we have taken care that uh, uh, there should not be much changes in the ecosystem, and that's how the design implementation as will be rolled out. Uh, uh, yeah, and we would like members to test all scenarios in the test market once we provide the test markets to completely iron out if there are last moment surprises. You know. But from exchange side, yes, we have taken care that there is minimum change in the ecosystem, and that's how we hope we should be good with the introduction of gas.
Okay, thank you, Kushal. And members, on behalf of NSE and Anil, Kinshuk, Kushal, and Benoy, I thank all of you for joining today's session. We hope that we were able to answer your queries clearly. And still, in case any further queries are there, you can email at msm@nsc.co.in, and the concerned team will reach back with the responses that you have asked for. So thank you very much again for joining in. Have a great day coming ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.